welcome to this week's review of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, starring John Candy and Steve Martin.
You know, I had a feeling that when we parted ways, somehow, someday, our paths would cross again. Are you all right? I've never seen a guy get picked up by his testicles before. Lucky thing for you that cop passed by when he did. Otherwise, you'd be lifting up your schnuts to tie your shoes. I'm sorry. That's terrible. Do you have any idea how glad I am I didn't kill you?
Do you have any idea how glad I'd be if you had?
I just want to wish all of you a happy Thanksgiving. And for this Thanksgiving, I want to make a special video for my favorite Thanksgiving movie. And there are many movies based on the Christmas holidays, but not nearly as many that are based on Thanksgiving. And as a movie fan, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is a gold standard for a great holiday movie. And sure, there are other movies I may put above this one, but almost everyone I ever talked to about this movie usually has a soft spot for it. I'm not the biggest fan of movies that were made in the 80s, but there was one writer-turned-director that made the 80s his decade, John Hughes. And some of his most memorable movies from the 80s include such classics as 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Vacation and Christmas Vacation, Weird Science, The Great Outdoors, Uncle Buck, and of course, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And John Hughes was simply the best at telling stories based on characters, relationships, and their families, especially during the holidays and vacations. Even in the early 90s, he was still on his game, writing such movies as Home Alone and Dutch. And what made his movies so great was the fact that his scripts were so good, he was able to draw some of the best talent in the business to star in his films. And what made Planes, Trains, and Automobiles such a classic was the chemistry between Steve Martin and John Candy. Now, everyone knows Steve Martin is a comedic genius, and yet he was able to play the straight man as good as anyone. And John Candy is simply one of the most likable actors that I've ever seen in a film. And together, they made this movie a masterpiece. There are so many classic, funny scenes in this movie, but what makes this movie so great wasn't the jokes, but when John Candy's character comes full circle, and he tells him about his real home life, it just breaks your heart. And to me, this is one of the most heart-wrenching scenes that I've seen in any movie. And what makes it work so well is this dialogue from earlier in the film.
By the way, you know, when you're telling these little stories, here's a good idea. Have a point. It makes it so much more interesting for the listener.
You want to hurt me? Go right ahead if it makes you feel any better. I'm an easy target. Yeah, you're right. I talk too much. I also listen too much. I could be a cold-hearted cynic like you. But I don't like to hurt people's feelings. Well, you think what you want about me. I'm not changing. I like me. My wife likes me. My customers like me. Because I'm the real article. What you see is what you get.
I can't watch this scene without getting totally sucked in. His performance was brilliant, and one of the reasons I started reviewing movies, as films like this never get the proper recognition. Yet I never meet anyone that doesn't like them. And it was a sad day on March 4th, 1994, when John Candy passed away. But he left behind some of the best characters that's ever graced a silver screen. And of the characters he played, Del Griffith was easily my favorite. So I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving with your family and friends, and maybe if you watch a movie tonight, you can watch this one again or see it for the first time.
And the dreams that you dream of once in a love, the